Australians are reading less books than ever before. It's across the board, but men especially have reduced how much they are reading. An industry initiative called Australia Reads is pushing to change this. Anna Burkey is the president and she joins us now from Melbourne. Anna, hi to you, nice to see you. Why do you think there's a decline in reading?
I think that we have seen such a perfect storm of what's going on in terms of all the different clamouring for our attention that's going on. So we have got really fragmented attention spans at the moment, and that dominance of technology platforms is not really helping us to switch off from all of those distractions that come up in our daily lives. We've got increased caring responsibilities, there's extra work and study loads. So there's an awful lot going on when it comes down to people's time and choices to make space for reading. And millions of Australians do, but you're right in that it's quite concerning that particularly younger Australians, the numbers are starting to fall.
And men, what's that all about?
Well, there's always been a gender gap in reading as long as since we started keeping records on this particular issue. And so that gap has been pretty persistent for many generations. And I think that the fact that the younger generations are maybe not seeing as many older male role models reading on a regular basis or identifying with reading or talking about books that they love and enjoy, and that's had a little bit of a knock-on effect. And that makes it harder for the younger generations to kind of know what it is that they want to read and that they enjoy reading, and that's perhaps even coming out in an unconscious way, where we see that the parents of very young children, aged just 0 to 2, it's much more likely for parents to read to girls than it is to boys.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Older women read the most. Does that surprise you?
That does not surprise me at all. They are a core demographic for books and we are grateful for them.
Absolutely. What are the benefits of reading?
I think the benefits are both personal and for our society as a whole. So there's the kind of obvious benefits about for our education levels, what that means for our economy and our workforce that can read and be critical and literate and can understand how to be reflexive in a world full of disinformation. But there's those personal benefits as well that are around the health benefits of reading. It reduces anxiety, it brings your blood pressure down. You have to slow down, ground yourself, calm yourself, and it helps you sleep better. It also helps you to be a more tolerant and empathetic person of others. So thinking about how you walk a mile in another person's shoes through the eyes of the narrator of whatever books that you're consuming, that really helps us to think about how other people experience the world.
Does it matter what type of books?
No, and in fact, all formats are welcome. So audiobooks also bring great benefits and are sometimes, for some people, a little easier to fit into daily life. You can listen on the commute, you can listen together as a family and talk about the reading experience. And we're seeing a huge rise in graphic novels, but print books do still remain the most popular format.
You see, it is a generational thing, isn't it? Because when you and I were kids, we didn't have anything to do, so we picked up a book perhaps or a magazine and read. Nowadays, if you've got nothing to do, you might play Candy Crush or scroll on your Instagram. I mean, it does largely come down to technology, doesn't it?
There are a lot more choices. That is absolutely true. And it's something that we've got to be really concerted about, is to make reading as visible as we can. Because even if someone is reading an ebook on their iPad, they are not necessarily visible that that's what they're doing. So whereas we would have seen people on the train or the tram picking up a book, taking it on their commute with them, it's a little less easy to see. And so we just need to be a bit more conscious about how we fit it in, but also how we kind of make it visible to others that reading is something we all value, because that makes it a social norm, and that makes it obvious that it's something that we all want and value and enjoy doing.
Yeah, that's so true. So a national strategy, what would a national strategy look like in your case?
Well, I think we've got to think about what we can do to support people and raise awareness and provide education on what people can do for themselves and for their family to fit reading into their daily lives. But then there's also the infrastructure. So are we giving support to our bookshops, to our libraries, to our authors who kind of allow and provide that engagement into books and reading? For schools, for example, schools are not mandated to have a library in Australia. And we are seeing the school library as perhaps something that is under threat at present. And there are many schools that don't have access to a library or a librarian, and that goes to speaking about how we entrench a reading culture from a young age. Having that access to that library, whether it's school or a public library, is a really important part of that infrastructure. So we want to be able to have a strategy that's well funded, that works across different government departments so that it can leverage those different kinds of social and health benefits, and that really is something we can track so we can be sure that we're making a difference over time, because we're not the only country that's facing this problem, and there are many countries around the world that are investing tens of millions of dollars and euros into making sure that they can increase the literacy and the reading engagement in their countries, and we don't want Australia to fall further behind.
President of Australia Reads, Anna Burkey, thank you for your time.
Thank you.